the Royal Daily Tea YouTube channel. Please be advised all of my videos are for entertainment purposes only, based 100% on my own opinion, my own theories, and my own research. All of my information can be found on the public domain and falls under the fair use guidelines. Please feel free to do your own research. Hello and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I sure did. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for your support. We are growing extremely fast. If you have not had a chance to enter the 10K giveaway, please do. The link will be in the description. I'm giving away a beautiful coffee table book on Her Majesty the Queen, her life in pictures from town and country. There will be 2 winners and it is open worldwide. The contest is available through Thursday and I'll keep mentioning it as much as I can. Right now we have around 60 or so submissions, so you have a really good chance of winning. So make sure you put your hat in the ring and enter to get yourself a lovely coffee table book. So now let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. So apparently Meghan Markle was not able to polish her royal turd and turn it into a pearl. Netflix has announced that they have canceled Meghan's animated series Pearl, which is based off a 12-year-old Meghan who flies through time, interviewing and meeting influential women through history. Now, we all know that this is not a huge shock. We have been talking about this for several months on my channel, that I knew that there was problems behind the scenes of Pearl. In my opinion, Netflix used this as a major excuse to get rid of Meghan. A couple months ago, a news story came out that Netflix was taking over control of Pearl, and they were hiring people to work behind the scenes, animators, production staff, that type of thing. To me, that signaled that things were not going well, and rumor is that people were quitting left and right. What happens is when you have certain people who don't have experience or know what they're doing, they can bottleneck progress. When Meghan Markle and her husband Harry signed up to work with Netflix, they hired a whole bunch of professional experts in their fields, producers, directors, writers, production staff, editors, that type of thing, to actually do the work on the projects. Meghan and Harry were merely serving as, quote, producers, which is a fancy term for we're just putting our name to the project and we're getting a paycheck. But they were having problems with Meghan not approving or rewriting the script, not liking the animation of Pearl, and many people behind the scenes were quitting. This has been in development for well over a year and has not moved. And then with Netflix putting in the bold move of taking over hiring of staff, much like Spotify had to do, that signals that Meghan Markle was bottlenecking progress, meaning she wasn't letting the people that she hired to do the job to actually do the job. So that's why I'm sure Netflix was extremely happy to put them on the chopping block and said publicly, we're cutting them due to budget constraints. Now, there were a few other shows that also were axed as well. It was not just Meghan Markle's The Pearl. Again, we have talked about that Netflix is having a financial crisis. They most recently raised their prices, being one of the most expensive streaming platforms out there. They have a lot of competition that they didn't used to have. They have Disney, Hulu, Apple TV, HBO Max, who now gets all the brand new movies. So again, Netflix is having a really big problem with a lot of people saying, quote, there's really nothing to watch on Netflix. 2, the prices are too high. 3, people are password sharing. There was even a poll done where a lot of people, up to 200,000 subscribers in the UK, unsubscribed due to Harry and Meghan being attached to the streaming network. So Netflix is realizing they probably want to cut their losses. Now, they still are working with Harry on the Heart of Invictus. As we know, they just completed filming this in The Hague, and apparently it was a mediocre success. Although that has been met with major backlash, with people calling it the Harry and Meghan show, where Harry and Meghan were highlighting themselves and merching Meghan's wardrobe to the tune of $90,000 for a 4-day event. So this is definitely not sitting well with a lot of people. There's also the fact that they're triple dipping and making money off the backs of veterans. Again, it's not a good look. So even though it does have a wonderful message and it highlights wounded warriors competing in Olympic-style games, I personally do not think this is going to be a ratings bonanza or a major hit for the Sussexes. So again, everything on Netflix is about ratings and views and distribution. A lot of people were under the assumption that Netflix was paying for the development and the production of the show, and that's actually not correct. I'm sure they did receive a nice advance, but all of the people that they hire, the film crew, the producers, the directors, the editors, comes out of Harry and Meghan's pocket. They're hiring all of these huge, very expensive, experts to work on all of their projects, but they're not really getting anything back in return. So they really, really need the Heart of Invictus to be a hit, or in my opinion, their whole deal with Netflix is going to go down the toilet, because again, Netflix cannot afford to pay multi-million-dollar deals to people who are non-producing creators. Paris Hilton had a cooking show that only did one season on Netflix, and she was canceled due to low ratings. Now, Paris Hilton has a huge social media platform, tons of followers, tons of fans. She has a multi-million-dollar beauty brand, definitely becoming a huge media mogul, and she couldn't even keep viewers past one season on her cooking show. So do you think that Harry and Meghan are going to be able to entice people to watch whatever show they're going to put out on Netflix? Well, I can tell you right now, it ain't going to be Pearl. And what else is Meghan going to come up with? We already have her Archetype podcast that's coming out on Spotify that's barely standing on two legs. I think if you blow, that whole deal is going to fall over into the trash. We all know that Spotify is barely holding on. And the Sussexes are praying on a wing and a prayer that Archetypes is going to be a hit. But I can honestly tell you, after 3 episodes or 4 episodes, even the sugars are going to be bored. I mean, there's only so much snooze fest feminist podcast that they can honestly listen to. Again, Meghan, ASMR, whale sounds, you're welcome. Again, if you're going to put people to sleep, at least do it on purpose. And of course, Harry is also going to come out with a podcast on mental health, but we all know that is never going to get off the ground, because the last thing people want to hear from is the used car salesman of mental health. So we know that Harry's been attached to BetterUp as the CHIMPO, or Chief Impact Officer, for a company valued at $1 billion, who's basically slashing the pay of their counselors for up to $3 an hour. They also offered some weird pay structure where their pay was based upon their production and their reviews. That's exactly what people want. Pay $400 a month and have a counselor who only cares about your review at the end of your session. Kind of like a used car salesman. Again, overpriced, overinflated, and under-deliverable crappy mental health company. Again, everything that Harry and Meghan attached themselves to turns into a royal turd. So not only did Netflix dump them with Pearl, Heart of Invictus has to be a ratings winner, or that contract is going to be canceled. The only way, in my opinion, that the Harkles are going to be a success on Netflix is if they come out with an Anna Nicole Smith style reality show where they show the goods, throwing things, tantrums, and fights in their Montecito mansion. Without that and the ASMR podcast and whale sounds, I'm sorry, but their cash cow deals are going to dry up. It's kind of like when a dog says squirrel, squirrel, we're all saying iceberg, iceberg. You know, they're sitting on the deck of the Titanic, arranging the deck chairs, dancing a jig, and we all see it. We're like, it's there. You see it? The iceberg? It's a coming. And you know what that iceberg is? It's financial ruin. And what else happens after financial ruin? We all know it's coming. 2022 to 2023 and beyond aren't going to be great financial years for the Sussexes. I think they're finally getting what the rest of us have been dealing with, a recession. You know, they're going to, and when I say they're going to go broke, they're going to go rich people joke. You know, one of the nannies is going to have to go. Megan's going to have to rewear one of her outfits. They might have to fly commercial. You know, not like the rest of us when we're praying we had 20 bucks in our ATM and we could take the money out. You know, when you were 20 years old and you wanted to go out with your friends and you had $17.50 in your account, you were SOL for the night. You know, they don't have real people problems. They have rich people problems. Like what maid is going to be let go? Do we have to go from 14 bathrooms to 7 bathrooms and I guess 2 asses now to a toilet? You know, rough times. But the rest of us, you know, we're dealing with high gas, high food, etc. So these mega deals that are happening aren't happening anymore. Even the Obamas have quit Spotify and Netflix. They're now going to other platforms. These streaming companies can't afford to pay these quote unquote celebrities these mega deals. If you're not bringing in the ratings, they can't afford to pay you. It's that simple. So in my opinion, the cash cow deals are drying up for the Sussexes. They're going to jump ship probably from Netflix and Spotify, just like the Obamas have done. They're going to go to other streaming platforms. Who knows if anyone is going to pick them up, because as far as I'm concerned, they're considered non-starters. Again, 2 years since Megxit, and they are a failure to launch. I've got 20 videos on it. They are a failure to launch. What have they produced successfully in 2 years? 1 podcast episode. Her archetype podcast is already being slammed as out of touch and archaic, has nothing to do with women. Women are not being held down by men and labels. Earl is dead in the water. Harry's supposed to do his podcast on mental health. Again, the used car salesman and mental health. I can tell you right now, it's not going to go anywhere. We have a Heart of Invictus, but they're really holding on, hoping it is a ratings bonanza. Because if it's not, they're going to be like Paris Hilton and they're going to get the axe. The only thing they have in their court is that secret reality show that they have said they're not filming, that we all know they're filming. But again, if that turns out to be Finding Freedom meets Netflix and Megan's Poops Rainbows, it's not going to be a hit for them. Because nobody bought the book Finding Freedom. The last thing we want to do is watch it on a Netflix series. So the Sussexes are finding out they have an expiration date and it's coming up real quick. Because again, these are 2 people who built a brand off their fame and their titles with no experience and no skills. And all the projects they had, they literally had all the experts in their field. They had everyone to do the work for them, and yet they still couldn't get those projects off the ground. That Spotify and Netflix had to personally go in and take control of the projects. So what's the problem? It's the 2 people at the top. You know that saying, crap floats to the top. There you go. They literally are in their own way of success. So the only thing we have left is Harry's book. Again, if he doesn't deliver the goods and make it salacious, it's not going to sell. And if he rags out his family, he's literally nailing the final nail in the coffin and burning the bridges and the boats. And there's no coming back from that. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens if they continue to lose their deals. His association with BetterUp is not looking great. Spotify is on barely two legs. And Netflix, you've already got one project killed. I mean, the Sugar Squad will probably watch the episodes just to drive up the numbers. They've already said so on Twitter. And they'll probably listen to the first, maybe the second podcast episode. But even the SS Squad will be falling asleep with the feminist word salad podcast. There's only so much a fan can do. Their expiration time is coming up. So what do you guys think? Do you think they're going to lose their Spotify deal and their Netflix deal? Leave me your comments, guys, down below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel. And if you like, please make sure you stay to the end of this video for some RDT family extras. Hey guys, so if you stayed to this point, thank you so much. I just want to say, first off, make sure you enter the giveaway because I want to reward my lovely subscribers with 2 copies of this coffee table book from Town and Country. So there's 2 people who can win. So make sure you click on the link below. The contest ends on Thursday. Secondly, thank you so much to the people who went to my Amazon storefront and shopped. I did have a couple of orders. I hope you enjoy them. Let me know what you get, guys, and leave me your comments down below. I have uploaded a ton of new things to the storefront that I think that you will enjoy. So if you'd like to check out the Amazon storefront, guys, you can go ahead and click it down in the description. Now, I have written a couple of new blogs over on the Royal Daily Tea website. So if you would like to check out some lavender recipes that are interesting and different for spring, as well as my new obsession, Versailles. I literally binge watched all 3 seasons of this show, which is about Louis XIV and his obsession to build Versailles. It's a very interesting show. Reminds me a lot of the Tudors, if you like that type of thing. And I have an awesome chicken chili recipe. So just go over to the blog if you like to learn about different things. I do have a lot of variety over there. And I would love it for you to go there and leave me a comment and let me know what you think. And the last thing is we have the new RDT VIP memberships. If you'd like to become a patron and support the channel, or join the VIP membership where you can get exclusive content that's not available on YouTube and more personal access to myself where I can share more about myself with you in a safer, private environment. There's going to be monthly giveaways, discounts on merch, and upcoming lives in the future. It's only $3 a month, so if you are interested, you can definitely check it down below. Now, the #1 way that you can support me is to be yourself, to like, share, and subscribe, and just to come back to the next video. You can also check me out on all of my other social media accounts. As always, I appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by the channel, and have an awesome and amazing day. Bye, guys.